Have you ever wondered why certain people are irresistibly drawn to you? Not just attracted, but deeply magnetized, as if pulled by an invisible force. Is it your personality, your looks, your charm? Or could it be something far more profound, something hidden beneath the surface of conscious awareness? Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in depth psychology, believed that love is never random. He argued that people fall in love with you for two deeply rooted reasons, and both originate in the unseen depths of the human psyche. In this video, we'll explore Jung's powerful theories on love, projection, and the archetypes of anima and animus. We'll uncover why people don't fall in love with who you are on the outside, but rather with what you represent in their inner world. We're about to take a deep dive into the unconscious forces that govern romantic attraction and reveal the two powerful reasons why someone truly falls in love with you. Love isn't an accident. We like to imagine love as a spark, a magical, spontaneous feeling that catches us off guard. But Jung believed that even the most sudden attractions are guided by an unconscious pattern. What feels like fate is often the result of unmet emotional needs, buried memories, and internal structures silently shaping our connections. Behind every intense bond is a psychological architecture, and at the core of this architecture is projection. The power of projection. Each of us carries hidden images, fragments of who we are, who we once were, and who we long to become. These parts may be forgotten, denied, or repressed, but they don't disappear. Instead, they seek expression, often through the people we encounter. When someone unconsciously mirrors these inner fragments, we feel drawn to them in ways that feel irrational, mysterious, even magical. But here's the truth: we're not seeing them. We're seeing a part of ourselves, reflected back at us through their presence. Take, for example, someone who has spent years hiding their emotions, living cautiously. When they meet someone who is bold, expressive, and emotionally free, they may feel instantly captivated. What they feel isn't just admiration, it's resonance. That person awakens a dormant part of their psyche, a piece of themselves they never allowed to live. Reason 1. You represent something they lack. People don't fall in love with you solely for your traits. They fall for what you unconsciously represent. You become a symbol of a part of themselves that is underdeveloped, denied, or longed for. It's not just that opposites attract, it's that opposites reveal what is missing. A logical person might be drawn to someone emotional. A shy soul might fall for someone outgoing. A person bound by structure may feel intoxicated by someone who lives in beautiful chaos. But if they don't recognize this projection for what it is, admiration can become dependence. They may cling to you, not out of love, but out of an unconscious need for completion. And once their internal need shifts, or once your human flaws contradict their idealized version of you, the attraction fades, the illusion breaks. This is the danger of projection. It feels like connection, but it's often a reflection of inner emptiness seeking fulfillment through someone else. Anima and animus, the inner other. Jung didn't stop at projection. He introduced something even deeper, the archetypes of anima and animus. He believed that every man carries within him an inner image of the feminine, his anima, and every woman carries an inner image of the masculine, her animus. These inner figures aren't shaped by culture alone. They're formed through early childhood experiences, especially with our parents, and through the deep collective myths of masculinity and femininity passed down through human history. Over time, these images become emotionally charged blueprints, and one day you meet someone who matches your inner blueprint, not necessarily in appearance, but in essence. The connection feels electric. You feel like you've known them forever, even if you just met. It feels like destiny. But Jung would urge caution. This isn't destiny. It's not evidence of a soulmate. It's your unconscious recognizing its own internal design. Reason 2. You awaken their inner archetype. The second reason someone may fall deeply in love with you is because you mirror their internal anima or animus. You match a powerful unconscious image they've been carrying, sometimes for their entire life. You trigger something archetypal. It's not about your specific words or gestures, it's about the essence you radiate. You become the embodiment of their psychological yearning, and that's why the attraction feels so intense, so familiar, so unreal. But here lies the trap. When someone falls in love with an inner image projected onto you, they're not truly seeing you. They're seeing a fantasy, one written long before you arrived. And as your real self begins to show, your contradictions, your imperfections, the fantasy starts to collapse. What once felt divine begins to feel difficult. Confusion sets in, disillusionment follows. This is why so many passionate relationships burn hot, then crash. They were built on projection, not understanding. Love as a tool for growth. Despite all this, Jung never saw projection as a mistake. In fact, he believed it was essential to personal growth. Every person we fall in love with becomes a mirror. Some reflect our hidden potential. Others expose our deepest wounds. Some awaken our creativity, while others unearth our fear. But each one plays the same role, to push us forward in the journey of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming whole. Love, according to Jung, is not just an emotional experience. It's a transformational one. It reveals us to ourselves. So when someone falls in love with you, they aren't just drawn to who you are. They're drawn to what you awaken within them. You become a catalyst for their inner evolution, a psychological invitation to explore something they haven't yet integrated. And the same is true for you. The mirror of love. Think back to the people you've loved, especially the ones who shook your soul, changed your life, or even broke your heart. They were not accidents. They were events of the soul, what Jung called synchronistic encounters, moments that seem coincidental but are deeply meaningful. These people were never meant to complete you. They were meant to reveal you. Some came to awaken your dormant courage, others to test your emotional limits. Some arrived to break patterns that you were too afraid to shatter on your own. So why do people fall in love with you? Because you represent something they've lost, or something they've never allowed themselves to become. And why do you fall in love? Because your unconscious sees in them a piece of the puzzle you've been missing. From fantasy to wholeness. But if you don't become aware of these inner patterns, these projections, you risk repeating them endlessly, falling for the same type, reliving the same heartbreak, confusing fantasy for fate. Awareness is the way out. When you begin to understand your projections, when you recognize your inner figures, you stop searching for someone to complete you. You begin the journey of completing yourself. And from that place, love becomes something real. Not a rescue, not a fantasy, but a deep, grounded recognition between two evolving souls. Because the truest love is not about finding the perfect person. It's about awakening the parts of yourself that have longed to be seen. You don't just fall in love with others. You fall in love with the version of yourself that they help you uncover. If this video resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what you've discovered about your own relationships and inner world.